This is how excited I am for each game ranked. At number 12, the game I am least excited for is actually at Purdue on October 4th. I just think that game is just like such a dud in between a lot of really exciting games. Obviously, there is still the pressure of Purdue played them really close in Champaign last year. But as I've said multiple times throughout this offseason, I don't think that's going to be a problem for Illinois this year because they're not going to forget about something like that, right? I was embarrassing, and everyone on the coaching staff, players would agree with you, and they are not going to waste any time with Purdue this year. At number 11 now, I have a Friday's Western Illinois game, August 29th. I put that one ahead of Purdue just because it's the first game of the season. So there is definitely buzz, but it's definitely the least exhilarating opponent. There's no doubt about that. At number 10, I have Western Michigan, then the week 3 game, which I will be at. That game is also sold out, by the way. It is now sold out. There were a couple select tickets when I talked about it last week, but it is sold out now. It's just another non-con opponent that I don't think is going to be too much of a challenge for Illinois. So that's why I have that one so low. I'm still super excited to go to that game. Number 9, I have Northwestern. I honestly consider putting Northwestern below those 2 non-con games that I just mentioned. The only reason I do put it at 9 is because, one, it's a classic rivalry game. So there's always a little bit of excitement, no matter how bad Northwestern is. And 2, it's the last game of the season. So Illinois is definitely going to be fighting for something when they play Northwestern. Right. So I definitely think there are going to be stakes on that last game because we're expecting Illinois to be in the playoff running on November 29th when they meet Northwestern. So that's more why it's less the opponent and more so it's still not ranked very high. I don't think Northwestern is going to be much of a challenge. But just the stakes are going to be higher since it is the last week of the season. At number 8, then I have their home game against Maryland on November 15th. Maryland, I think, will be a little better this year. I still just don't think they're all, quite there and ready to compete in the Big Ten, compete with Illinois. And that's a home game too. So I think that'll be another fairly easy Big Ten home game. At number 7, I have Wisconsin. Wisconsin certainly had a down year last year. It's not going to be easy to win up in Madison. I'm not saying that. That's on November 22nd, by the way, the Saturday before Thanksgiving. They'll be in Madison. But, not saying that Wisconsin won't be a challenge. Like, I think we're definitely in the point now, like these last 7, where these are not going to be easy wins. But I still think Wisconsin just has a ways to go still. And having a lot of Wisconsin players on our defense certainly helps. At number 6, now moving in the top 5, I have versus Rutgers. I didn't even change the banner. Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. At number 6, I have versus Rutgers. That is on November 1st. Rutgers is not bad at all. And I think that'll be a closer game than a lot of people think. Could also be a potential trap game. But Rutgers is definitely on the way up. And this is going to be a good game you get on November 1st. These top 6 are all going to be pretty good games. At number 5, I have at Washington on October 25th. They are also on the way up, and that's just a tough road game. I did talk about when we talked about, the preview, the opponent preview for Washington, however many weeks ago that was, that, I don't think the travel is going to affect them as much because actually Washington is the one that's going to have to travel. Illinois gets a bye week before this. So I'm not super worried about it as a trap game, but I still just think Washington's a great team and they are fantastic at home, right? There's definitely a chance they lose. It's on October 25th, so we're getting, back half of the season. So it's very possible that they do lose at home before that date. But it'll be a good challenge. I think that'll be a good game for sure. Number 4, I have versus USC on September 27th. I got absolutely flamed by these crazy USC fans on my video on USC when we did that preview. I did say that Reggie Bush was in college in 2008, which was a mistake. The rest, I'm not so sure what they're mad about because USC is a very young team and they're playing one of the most experienced teams at one of the most experienced teams in the country for their homecoming game. It definitely could be a trap game since it is the week after Indiana. Depending on how that result goes, I think that'll definitely have an effect on that USC game. But I mean, we'll see. I don't know. I'm still really excited for that one. I hope that those USC fans that left me some hate comments, I don't super get bothered by that. I think it's just kind of sad, honestly. But I hope Illini and I can stick it to them on September 27th. That would be good. Obviously, that'd be good. A little extra added onto that personally for me. Number 3, we have at Duke on September 6th. I'll be traveling that day, so I might be having to watch this one on my phone at the airport. But this is going to be a really good early test, which is why I put it so high, even though it's a non-con game. We are going to get a full identity of this Illinois team at Duke next Saturday. I'm really excited for that one. I'm already way over time here. Number 2, then, this might be a little controversial. Number 2, I have the Ohio State game on October 11th. That is a sold-out game in Orange Out. Against the defending champs, are currently ranked number 3 in the country to open the season. But I do give my number 1 to Indiana at Indiana on September 20th. I am so excited to go to that game. That is it's just a better rivalry game than Ohio State is. And that being earlier in the schedule, even though it's only a couple weeks, is huge as well, because they open up the Big Ten schedule at Indiana. That game is better be prime time. They still haven't told us when that game is going to be. It's less than a month away. But those are my rankings for how hyped I am for each Illinois game. I would love to see what you guys think as well.